Howdy guys, how's it going? So I know it has been a few days, actually probably close to about 2 weeks since our last overnight video. That's because I was on a short little vacation hiatus up in Northern Virginia. But I'm back now, so tonight it is going to be getting down to 29 degrees. I actually got kind of lucky in that this past week while I was going to be gone, the temperatures here kind of spiked a bit, kind of getting more into those spring temps. But we got another week or two where at night we're going to be dropping down to freezing and or below. So gives me some time to take and try out a lot more of some, camping setups that I had planned. Tonight we're keeping it relatively simple. Hiked out to a spot that we have camped at a few times. Y'all are actually standing right over top of where one of our past fire pits was. I'm going to get out the near zero shovel here in a second and dig that back out so we can have a small fire. The wind is hit or miss. So we're not going to be doing anything too crazy. I brought my alcohol stove with me. That way we have an alternate way to heat up our food, make a cup of tea, make a cup of coffee. And we're going to be keeping it super simple. So if you hadn't seen the bedroll video that we did a few videos back, this is the Campcraft Outdoor Scout wax canvas bedroll, and that is going to be our base. Then I brought out our Lucky Sheep wool sleeping bag. I think this will be the third time we've used it. So this is our titanium shovel. Now what I found is the way that this handle was seated on here, there was a little bit of a rattle, but if you take a small piece of wood and wedge it down in there, I'm going to tap it. It pretty much stops it from rattling, so I just need to kind of secure that in there a little bit better, and then we should be good to go. In the future, I think I'm just going to stick with bringing the shovel head and just carving out a quick handle that has more of a tapered profile. And so right now we're sitting at about 6:10, or actually it's probably about 6:08 because I got my watch set a minute or two fast. But we need to get this going because it will be getting dark relatively soon. There we go. So that's wedged down in there nice. This is a spot where we've had a fire before. And I believe the last time we also, we didn't make this hole that big. We just made it kind of, because I think we just made this hole more on the deep side and not the wide side. But I believe we used a trowel the last time, so now that we got more of a substantial, sharper shovel, we can widen it out a little bit. Just kind of get through the roots. I will say the shovel does actually cut through roots very well. Okay, so this is some of the stuff that come out of our most recent battle box, and I've not even opened it yet, so it's got a thing right here to pop the seal on that. So this is some type of gel fire starter, so I'm going to collect some wood and we're going to get a fire going. Now I want to take and kind of line the bottom of this deep hole with wood, just so as things kind of burn down, this punkier wood will help keep the embers going and just keep the fire going a bit longer. Now this right here where it's deeper, I'm not going to take the time to make a Dakota fire hole, so this isn't going to be getting the best airflow possible. Okay, so here is a piece of poplar bark. Okay, so this stuff is a nice little green snot color. Probably don't need that much, but first time. And it's got a very strong ethanol smell, so it's probably just some type of alcohol gel. And where it's at, it is going to be affected by the breeze, so that'll give it a little bit of a test, or a little bit of a taste of how wind resistant this is or isn't. Okay, so this should go up with one strike of this. Maybe not. Okay, so takes a couple of strikes to get it going, because all of those except for the very first one landed sparks directly on it. Tonight we're going to be rocking with a Snug Pack Base Camp Ops air mat. This is for sure one of the most comfortable, compact, and lightweight sleep mats that I have used thus far. Will be more than adequate for the night, even though it's getting down to 29. In case you've not seen this yet, this does have the built-in pump. Which does work very well, but I still like to bring out my flex. Oh, and I didn't even realize this is a flex tail I've not used yet. This is a flex tail that come in, I believe it was their Nomadic quarterly box. You guys know I've had a black version of this, which is one of the first models. This one is even smaller, and I believe has 1 or 2 more inflation times than the other one. Bam, and there we go, just like that. This is the first time I've used this rubber nozzle attachment, so I kind of had to play around with how to get that to seat properly. But once you do, it actually inflates this a lot quicker. I've used it now, I think it's probably the 6th time. And like, so I love this baffle design on this, because like my spine just kind of lays directly in one of these grooves. Hello. Phenomenal. Okay, so yeah, I ended up having to do somewhat of a lazy man's Dakota fire hole here. I put it on this side because, as you can see, the wind's kind of funneling through that direction. With that setting up as high as it was, and that being as compact at the base, it just was not getting enough airflow for it to be functional. So this right here is working very, very well. As you can see, just having that opening and that small gap right there, and then covering this up allows it to suck oxygen up through there, and whenever it catches the wind, it burns very efficiently with little to no smoke. Fun little project. Really glad that I brought the larger shovel instead of the trowel on this one. Well, the temp has definitely dropped off pretty good. Chilling by the fire. I just have on this active wear type top. It's not like the thinnest out of this type of material shirts that I got, so it's got just a little, like a slightly more weight to it. But I'm going to put on my Sky Goat fleece, and then I don't think this has been in a video yet. I know I've put some stuff up on Instagram, but this is a branded windbreaker that I got off militaryfirst.com. And this is what we'll be wearing to sleep in, because my smock has stuff, you know, all in the pockets and everything, so it's not the most comfortable thing to wear while sleeping, if you can help it, if you have stuff in the pockets. And because like with this sleeping pad, the thing that I really like about it is it's the most comfortable side sleeping mat due to the way that the baffles are on it. Still, just while we're working around the fire, so we don't risk burning any holes in our windbreaker. And with these layers like this, more than warm. Also, for tonight's fine dining experience, I've got 2 cans of Armor chili beans, and I brought the 2nd gen titanium lunchbox slash mess tin. Oh, well, I forgot that I even had a meal in here, but I don't even know what this is. So we got teriyaki chicken and rice, so we had extra millage there. And then I keep my outdoor elements cleaning stuff in here. It's a coarse sponge, a soft sponge, and then a microfiber towel to clean up with. And then I forget the name of this type of can opener, but I'm going to be attempting to use it. The last time I tried to use it, I kind of failed a bit because these are not pull top. That's the one thing I wish they would change about these. Alrighty, that took longer than I thought it would, but we got it. And where this is a titanium pot here, we'll have to keep her moving so we don't burn none of the chili beans into the pan. So there we have ourselves a nice large pot of chili beans. And this is just another bottle from that gift set that I got around Christmas time. This is a Cajun hot sauce. That's all it says on it. So yeah, it's got some really good flavor. I think it'll go good in there. Oh, definitely got it warmed up enough. I do gotta say, out of all the chili beans I've tried, the Armor canned chili beans is hands down my favorite. So it is getting a good bit breezier, just with some like heavier wind gusts than we was having earlier. So I am glad I brought this adventure blanket to go over the top of our sleeping bag. Well, guys, I'm going to finish this and get back with y'all whenever it's about time to hit the hay. You seen this little red light on the front of my bag earlier? This right here is an adventure, or it's made by a company called Adventure Lights. And I found them just while I was like scrolling through Instagram. But these are lights, it can stay on solid or it can blink. And this has a runtime in blink mode of up to 250 hours on a single battery. So I got an assortment of these in different colors. But these are really handy, I mean, for a million different things, from like signaling in an emergency, or, you know, if you're in a group, everybody could throw one of these on their bag, and then y'all can, you know, just kind of keep track of each other in the dark. But what I like stuff like this for is, like, right now I'm going to go put the empty cans away from camp, and since I put the fire out, I can take and hang this up in a tree, and it's just really easy to navigate back to where I'm set up at in the dark. I will just put this right there, and it's facing the direction. This will be visible for, you know, a solid 180 degrees. So I am about 50 yards back, and right there is just a nice little shot in between this thick brush that I'm in to where you can see the light. It is way more visible in person than it appears to be showing up on the camera, but you get the gist of it. Like I said, it just makes it really easy. Bring two of them with you, put them back to back, and you know, you shouldn't have any issue whatsoever. Well, it is time to crawl into the stack. And I've managed to pretty much keep my boots from getting muddy because the top layer of everything's dry. I've got this unzipped because the edges of this will kind of just go down, and I'll have my back directly on our mat. I'm happy to say we haven't really lost any air from our mat, it appears. So that's good. Just so I don't put any unnecessary stress on this lining material. Since we're sleeping with our boots on, there's no chance of our feet getting cold. And in case you haven't seen it yet, where this sleeping bag is filled with wool insulation, you can sleep with your face inside of the sleeping bag, and you don't have to worry about condensation buildup like you do with synthetic or down sleeping bags. So I will for sure be doing that. Right now it ain't that bad. I looked at my phone, I forgot to bring my thermometer with me, but based off what my phone says, in this area it should be around 34 degrees without wind chill factored in, so we're probably, you know, right below freezing with wind chill. But yeah, guys, I'm just gonna get comfy and cozy, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, guys. Last night was definitely a cold one. I looked at the weather app. I really hate that I didn't have my thermometer, because the temp can vary a bit based off of what you know, the weather apps tell you. But it definitely got colder than 29. It was saying, like, with the wind chill and everything else, it could have got as low as 17 degrees. Having that adventure blanket definitely cut the wind off. The wool sleeping bag done great. Being able to take and have your face inside the sleeping bag and not having to worry about condensation makes all the difference. Really, the only thing that was of slight discomfort was when sleeping on my side. My hip, where, you know, your hip presses down into the mat a bit more, that's where I'll get a cold spot. But as long as I was laid on my back, having that canvas mat underneath, even though it's really thin, does add and help with the insulation value from the ground. And there was just a good bit of leaf debris as well already down. Oh, I am very much in need of a warm meal this morning. So I'm going to be trying for the very first time a nutrient survival meal. This is their hearty apple cinnamon oatmeal. So it says pour this into our cup, add 1/3 cup of boiling water, stir 2 to 3 minutes. So very short time. I've got a dual pot cup set here, so I could put the oatmeal in this since it'll expand. And then I think there's there's definitely 1/3 of a cup's worth in that smaller cup, so we'll get that going. Alrighty, let's take and give this a try. It looks like some nice thick oatmeal. So the Liquid requirements seem to be on point. Well, you know what? I do gotta say, that is probably some of the best oatmeal that I've ever tried. For me, I think a little dash of additional sugar would go nice, but as far as like the freshness and the apple flavor, it's on point. Well, all in all, it was another successful overnighter. I'm glad you guys was able to come along for it. But that's going to do it for this one. So, as always, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with your friends, family, anybody that enjoys good old outdoor activities and gear. If you're interested in any of the gear that I've used in this video, just remember to always check the video description box. I try to link to everything that is still available on the interwebs. And yeah, guys, with all that said, until the next one, adios.